Okay, in this session, what I would like to do is I want to share some things that expand a little bit on some of the things that you already know. When you recognize that we're limited in terms of our awareness, you know, that there's sight and sound around us that we can't see or hear. Some things that we are in our awareness that we don't need to hear or see. But we're limited physically. We're also limited by a concept in our brain, or a net-like group of cells in our brain called a reticular activating system that you're familiar with. And that two things get through our awareness instantaneously, just like that. Anything that comes within your awareness that has pay value from your point of view. It could be visual, it could be odor, it could be sound. I was in Niagara Falls a few months ago, and I was doing a station up there for labor union. Checked into a hotel there in Niagara Falls, and it was on about 26th floor or something like that, and I looked out the window and I was looking right out at the face of the falls. And then I just took a little peek to the left, and there was a huge casino. And I said, man, this is going to be a nice trip. See, that got through my awareness as a pay value. Now, if it was my wife seeing it, it would have been a threat. See, so pay value to one might be a threat to another. What gets through our awareness are those things that have value to us and those things that are a threat to us. And so a lot of times we have a tendency to take some things for granted. You know, like we take sometimes our partner for granted. We don't let them know how important they are to us as individuals. Every day, no matter where I'm at, I make it a point to let my wife know how important she is to me. And that's a very, very important part of my life. If I go on a trip, I leave at 4 o'clock in the morning, I will leave little notes saying, I love you, have a great week, I'll see you Thursday, and those kinds of things are important. And I'll open my case and there will be a card in there from her. And those things, and you know, your children, letting your children know how important they are to you. See, a lot of times, the only time we give our children any attention is when they're threatening us. You know, when they're doing something wrong. We never have a tendency to catch them doing something right. And those things are important to think about in your work environment, seeing the things that people are doing right instead of always catching them doing things wrong. And then the other thing that I want to talk a little bit about is the importance of looking at, when you look at pay value, everybody has concern for the big picture, okay? You know, the survival of our work environment, a plant, those kinds of things, those are important. But when you come right down to the bottom line, the most important thing for each person in this room is the WIFM. And it has nothing to do with being selfish. What's in it for me? What's in it for me? Why should I participate in this kind of training, for example? Obviously, I want the plant to be better, but what's in it for me? What's it going to do for me as an individual? So it's more important sometimes to see the things that have nothing to do necessarily with the plant. It has to do with your family, your health. And so when you look at these kind of things, look broader than just your job. Now, the pay value of quality, you should have an awareness that everybody has a responsibility for quality. Everybody should have a responsibility for safety. You guys do a great job of creating a safe environment. You have different kind of things that you do on a continuous basis that keeps people's awareness there. Training, continuous education is important. That we lock on and we'd stop learning. So when you look at this, you look at the kinds of things that are important to you and then see how they play out in all of the world that you live in. Your community. You know, we have a tendency to take community for granted. Most major changes follow a significant emotional event And what that significant emotion event does is it creates a new awareness that what I'm doing ain't working. But it doesn't necessarily mean change.